Alrighty guys, welcome to my first official Auto Club Revolution episode, and today we're going to be taking a look at a car that is very special. It has its own engine sound, and it has the same exact abbreviations as the Auto Club Revolution name. So it is the Viper ACR. It looks menacing, it looks cool, and it's a car that I really like in this game. So the Viper ACR does indeed have its own engine sound, which is very nice. It sounds very realistic. And the design that you see on this car is actually something I created myself, so just to show you proof that I did actually make this myself. So it's good enough proof for you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna test it out on the track in a minute. So for the sake of this video, I'm gonna be using two tracks. First of all, I'm gonna be using Lakeside Italia Island Run because of all of its tight technical corners that it has. And then, after I'm done testing out Lakeside Italia, I'm going to be using LA River Sprint to see how well the car accelerates from 0 to 60 and how fast of a top speed it gets in about 2.5 kilometers, which is I think about a mile in length. So I will see you guys on Lakeside Italia Island Run. Set it up for 3 laps, and I will see you guys there. Alrighty, and now the game is loading up, so let's get started with the test. So as you can see here, the engine sound is pretty much exactly like the one on the real-life Viper. So yeah, it has a little bit of trouble hooking up off the line, but as soon as it does hook up, it will start going like crazy around the track. So yeah, as you can see, this track is very good for testing the braking of the car, how well the car handles through the corners, how much speed the car holds through the corners, and ignore that, that's a clock. So yeah, as you can see, the handling is very good. It's got very sharp, precise steering. It has quite a bit of oversteer, but it also has a little bit of understeer when you go through a corner a little bit too fast. Usually when I drive cars in this game, I don't usually drive them in third person, but this car is pretty good. Now another reason why I use this track is this little corkscrew right here. You have to enter and exit this corner exactly perfectly, and this is what this car is very good at doing. And a lot of the other cars are good as well. This car is actually slightly better than the SLR McLaren. It will reel in the SLR McLaren into the corners very well, because of the fact that it has slightly better braking than the SLR in this game. Also, just so you guys know, the setup that I have with this car is both weight reduction body kits, a turbo, exhausts, die-cast exhausts, and head gaskets on the cylinders. That's all you need to make this car handle like this and set very fast lap times. The rest is up to you, because this car, even though it does have a lot of grip, it still is a Viper. It still is a little bit crazy in the handling department. Hold on, I think I hear someone outside, but yeah. Sorry for being quiet, I was just thought somebody was home, but anyway. I do recommend buying this car. Although this car is going to be available for E-Bucks only in the next update, which I find kind of sad, but since the devs are going to give back your E-Bucks and your EXP and your credits when the open beta starts, you'll be able to purchase this car off the bat, which is good. Whoa, okay, a little bit wild in the handling, like I said. It likes to swing the back end around a little bit, but that's how all cars in ACR are like. In fact, I think I even improved my original lap time. So yeah, final lap, we're going to finish up the lap times on this track. And I don't know if you noticed, but I changed my racing line to have activator for corners only, because just to make it feel a little bit more realistic. But yeah, here we go. Actually, I used my SLR on this track with my friend, Top Lane 51, I was in the SLR, he was in the Viper ACR. We both had our cars tuned exactly the same, and the Viper actually managed to keep up with me in the corners because of its slightly better braking. And then he overtook me at some point because I messed up a little. And then at that corkscrew on the last lap, I actually spun out and failed completely. So yeah, across the line. And so this is a pretty good car. I like this car a lot. So I will see you guys on the LA River Sprint track. Alrighty, and now LA River Sprint is loading up. So just to clarify for you guys, this car does actually have 6 gears, but since the gears are kind of stretched out pretty long, this car cannot get to a 6th gear on this track, which is kind of annoying. But if you use manual transmission, you'll be able to get to 6th gear on this track if you shift absolutely perfectly. So the acceleration is very good, it hooks up very well, but I've also heard that this thing can also get a perfect launch if you put it at the right RPM. So yeah, as you can see, we're already doing 170, 180, and I think this thing will do 189 miles per hour across the line. So yeah, okay, let's see. Nope, only 197 because of its long gears. So yeah, this thing is pretty good. Now I'm going to show you the stats. The stats, how fast. Not stats. You get the point. But there we go. Now it popped up. Okay, 0 to 60 happened in 3 seconds. The fastest 0 to 60 I've got was 2.7 seconds. Top speed is 197 here, and that's the lap time, and that's the time. So we'll see you guys in the conclusion. Basic for pretty much any track that you throw it at, except for LA River because of its pretty long gears that it has. But when you use this thing on the track, such as a track like this, Brands Hatch, this thing will be an absolute monster. I mean, I'm not kidding you. This thing is an absolute monster. Very grippy, has very good brakes. But keep in mind, this thing likes to oversteer sometimes since it's a Viper. It will bite you if you make a mistake. It does not like it when you make mistakes. So be careful with this thing when you drive it. So price-wise, this thing costs about 223,000 credits in this game. But this car is now going to cost 400 E-bucks in the next update. So if you really want to try this thing out and you have money for this thing in this game right now, please get it. And then, well, because this car is not going to be available for credits in the next update. So engine sound, I do love the engine sound, and I just did that. Yes, I did just knock over a sign. Fantastic engine sound, and of course, I don't know if you can see in the right corner, you can see it backfiring just a little bit because of the turbo. So I do highly recommend you buy this thing, because, like I said, this thing is a tool. If you use a tool, and what I mean by tool is if you use a tool wrong, it will not perform the task that it is supposed to do. If you use a tool right, it will do the task for you absolutely perfectly. And if you're experienced enough to use the tool, you can get the task done very fast. And this is what this is. You can get very fast lap times with this thing. You can destroy players. You can probably get into the top 3 if you're really good enough. And even first place with this thing if you're going up against an SLR McLaren. And cut track, I knew it. And perfect example of what the Viper is like in this game. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Okay, I'm just gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. 450 is out.